The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! Let's go to the house! Let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
We made it. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh, no. Game is not over. In fact, it is just getting started, and we are in March Madness. It is set. It is in stone, and all you need to do now is fill out your brackets. And we got another chance for you to win big money right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, and I am excited. I'm disappointed about some things. I'm excited about others, and one of them is get your brackets. Get your brackets. I'll be posting up the link if you want to get in on the lunch break, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. If you want to get in on the lunch break, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge, then all you got to do is fill out your bracket. You'll be able to follow along and see how you're doing against other people in the challenge. Somebody's going to win big after the championship. And this season, we're going to allow you to do not one, but two brackets. Not one, but two. So you can do your what you think and you can do what you hope. I'm one of those ones, I do a conservative bracket and I do an upset special. So we're going to let you do two brackets this season and you'll be able to win big on the lunch break. Again, it's time. It is time. And it all came down to the close yesterday with the selection show. And I got to be honest with you, I was a little surprised by some of the selections, a little disappointed by others. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. The number ones, you know, I got no real argument with. Gonzaga is definitely the number one of the number ones. Baylor has been one of the best teams in the country all year long, so they are number two of the number ones. Michigan has been ballin' all season long under Juwan Howard. I'm happy for Juwan. I'm even happy for Big Blue in the Big Ten. that fourth number one. I saw them earlier in the season, and at the time they were rolling everybody. I'm talking about Illinois. They were rolling everybody. But I personally thought they fell off a little bit. And I mean it. I wish Ohio State would have went ahead and put them to bed, but they didn't. So Illinois snuck in to that final number one seed. So you got two teams from the Big Ten as number ones. I mean, as number one seeds. Gonzaga's the number one. Baylor's the number two, number one. Michigan definitely the number three, number one. But man, Ohio State could have been that. UT, if they had stayed strong, could have been that. You could have had two Big 12 teams. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Man, if U of H hadn't stumbled the number of times they stumbled and when they stumbled, they would have been a number one seed. But when you look at the way the tournament shaped out, the Big Ten is well represented and high up in the brackets. Like you got number one seeds, you got number twos, you got number three. The Big Ten had a great year in basketball. But now, I'm going to take a break. But when I come back, AJ's going to give it to him. AJ's going to give it to him about the brackets. I got to do it. I'm going to do it early, but I got to do it. AJ's going to give it to him. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. If you want to get in, if you want to talk about the brackets, you want to talk about the Rockets' 16-game losing streak, you want to talk about the Texans. According to the Texans, there's only one team in the country that they can trade with. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. And then again, if you want to talk about something else, today's the day. Media Monday, 281-453-1000 or text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Also, you can join TD Blacksher for Table Talk on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. He's back right here on the legendary KYOK, AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
Business owners, listen carefully to this important message. Are you tired of struggling with monthly bookkeeping or always being behind? Maybe you're fed up with paying your CPA ridiculously high hourly rates for subpar services. At Finance Pal, we know your pain. We're small business owners who understand your tax and accounting needs. At Finance Pal, we take over your books and design a program custom tailored to fit your needs. Whether it's bookkeeping, payroll, bill pay, inventory tracking, or taxes, we have you covered. We handle some or all of these services for one flat, affordable, low monthly fee. Stop worrying about your books and drowning in paperwork. Let us worry while you focus on growing your business. This setup is easy, and we give you the tools and technology to make your monthly finances streamlined and organized. Call now for a free business assessment.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back up in here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It's Media Monday. It's still Women's History Month, and man, I tell you what, got some amazing women doing some amazing things. Gonna be on the show this week. Gonna be another power-packed week like we had last week. So I am excited. So y'all stay tuned for that. All right, let me go to the Texas. All right, let me see who I got here. Okay, frat brother, looking oh so sweet today. You know I had to give some love to that KA side, Phi Nu Pi, frat so nice they had to name us twice. I had to do it. I woke up thinking Kappa-ish today. I had to do it. I had to wake up and had Kappa on my mind. So to all my noobs out there, yo, all my noobs out there. Let's see. Willie Gibson just sent me a message. Nebraska is trying to do some damage control because the worst head coach that they've had in a long time, Scott Frost, out there writing checks, his mouth came back up. I mean, out there writing checks that his team and his behind can't back up. So the athletic director for Nebraska said the University of Nebraska is looking forward to playing Oklahoma in Norman on September 18th due to the economic Due to the economic devastation caused by the COVID-19 pandemic to Husker athletics and the local community, our administration did explore the possibility of adding an 8th home game this fall. That option would have helped to mitigate cost-cutting measures and provide a much-needed boost to our local economy. Ultimately, the decision was made to move forward with our game at Oklahoma in 2021. We have the utmost respect for the University of Oklahoma and this storied rivalry, and I know our fans have been excited about the series for a long time. Go Big Red. Shut up. Just shut up. Y'all the same people that went all buck wild so that you could play football this past year in the fall with everybody else, and you got dog walked by just about everybody that you played, and then you tried to weasel out of getting your brains beat out by Oklahoma. Y'all ain't what y'all used to be back in the past, and y'all were going to get dog walked by the Sooners, and you tried to weasel out of it, and Scott Frost got up there trying to, do all that coach speak, but he forgot he got in his chest when he was talking about the Big Ten and how they were going to sue and they were going to play by any means necessary, yada, 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 yada. And now you done got soft-spoken. Now you're speaking in soprano, falsetto. Oh, we might have to not play the game because we got ravaged by COVID-19 and the community. You wasn't talking community when you was trying to strong-arm the Big Ten and letting you play. They let you play and you got dog walked all year long. Now the athletic director's got to step in and try to save you from yourselves. Y'all are trash. Your program is trash. And there you go. Ain't nobody listening to you now, except for your faithful few. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oklahoma faithful, I don't get it. Y'all really like Scott Frost? What did they say in Black Panther? Is this your king? So there you go. You got what you got. You got what you got. What's up, Keith Henning? Listen, I'm not even an Oklahoma fan, but I'm going to be an Oklahoma fan that day. I'm going to be an Oklahoma fan that day. And even the fans are destroying Oklahoma. I mean, Nebraska in this message from the from the athletic department. Some guy just got a GIF of, okay, all right, whatever. Another guy in all caps. It should never, 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 ever, ever, ever have come to this statement. Beyond dumb, beyond stupid, beyond comprehension. Playing is the right thing to do. Kind of late, still a major disappointment that y'all were even considering getting out of this game. Embarrassed to be a Husker fan today. Got bullied into playing the Sooners. The damage has been done through another black eye for the program. Bullying prevailed. Come get this L. Wow, maybe Oklahoma should pay you to play them like the FCS team that you are. And these are the Nebraska fans. These aren't AJs. I need to get a band of brothers out there. These aren't AJs. These are the Nebraska fans that are coming for you because you tried to pull a stunt and they didn't like it. You got called out, and now we were just trying to look out for the economy because, we got hit really hard by COVID. You wasn't saying that when you were trying to go after the Big Ten. You wasn't saying that then. And the Big Ten was like, okay, no problem, let's play them. And you won how many of them? 3. Scott Frost has got a record of like 6-29 or something crazy. But everybody loves Scott Frost. He's turning the program around. Give me a break. Scott Frost is the next, I could pick so many coaches that they just recycle and lose and what have. He'll probably be an NFL head coach like Cliff Kingsbury. Was a loser in college, and they'll bring him into the pros, and he'll be a loser there. I told you I was going to give it to him. Dre's going to give it to him. Going to give it to him. I'm giving it to you, Scott Frost. I'm giving it to you, Nebraska. Losers. You tried it. It didn't work. Get out of here with that. And tell your athletic director dad to go sit down somewhere too. Oklahoma fan Rush 212 Sooner says, we're laughing at you. Treyway on Twitter has a GIF of Oklahoma, and it's Mike Tyson saying, come on. BJ Gotcha says, this is an absolute failure in leadership. Who in their right mind would even consider backing out of the Oklahoma game, a game that was set up in honor of the 50th anniversary of the game of the century? Remember all the good faith you built up, Bill? Yeah, well, that's gone. This person said it took the AD 5 hours to come up with that statement. This person said, you've been able to embarrass people in the offseason even worse than the regular season. Truly impressive. Yeah, I think all the goodwill Scott Frost has built up, yeah, I think it's fading fast. All right, let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm going to talk about better things. Nebraska, you just got dog walked. We'll be right back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-262-4690. 800-262-4690. 800-262-4690. That's 800-262-4690.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
What's up, Keith Hennick? What's up, CJ? What's up, y'all? I think Facebook is giving me the business today. They're giving me the business today. Somebody said that it keeps spooling on their side. It's messing up on my side too, so y'all. But anyway, we're going to press through. CJ said, LOL, tell them how you really feel, why don't you? I'm just saying, you know, it's always funny how, you know, a coach or a team will jump out there all strong and all fly and all, what they say, fly to mouth. That's what my mom used to say. Oh, you trying to be a little fly to mouth. You know, right before she popped me in. What's up, Big Mike? Big Mike, you need to call me, man. What's up? And then, you know, a little time expires, stuff happens, and all of a sudden they got to back that stuff up, and they can't do it. It's like, oh, well, no, what we really meant was, see, what had happened was blah, 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 blah. You were trying to get out of getting dog walked by Oklahoma. Because once they stopped playing you, they went up in life, you went down. And now, like somebody said, you're like an FCS school that they need to drop $1 million on to come and get that, you know, that L, you know, and you're not going to be like North Carolina A&T where y'all win the game and coach says, tell them to bring me my money. Run me my check. Y'all ain't like that. You're not going to beat Oklahoma. I got it like 76-14. Scott Frost. And then you tried to weasel out of it, trying to hide behind COVID. You wasn't hiding behind COVID when you was going after the Big Ten. You was going to play any means necessary. Now you can't play one game any means necessary. And it's the 50th anniversary of one of the most historic football games. Oh, come on, man. Stop. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
What's going on, boss man?
Hey, man, I'm going after your coach brother, Scott Frost, up there in Nebraska, trying to weasel out of playing Oklahoma. And his daddy in the athletic department had to release a statement like, oh, no, we were just concerned about COVID and the economic impact on our community. So we now realize that we got to play this game and we're excited to play it. Stop.
Scott Frost was out here for a while, out here in Eugene for a concern out here. He got his I guess he got his name out here at the University of Oregon. So I watched a lot of him and him recruiting athletes out here in this area. He seemed to be a pretty decent, upstanding young man. I was kind of surprised by what I saw with that situation this past weekend because he always markets himself as, the ultimate competitor and, anytime, any place will play you type guy.
Yeah, so in New Jack City, when they were trying to tell Ice-T about Nino Brown, yeah, I know him, low-life thug, I ain't impressed. You know what I mean? I hate him, so what? I'm just saying, come on, man. Scott Frost is another one of those overrated head coaches. He'll probably be in the NFL a la Cliff Kingsbury, and he'll lose there too. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed.
I thought Scott Frost was in a good place at UCF, and I thought he should have stayed personally.
I agree with that. Now that I will agree with, but when he got to Nebraska, that power of the Big Ten went to his head, and then he started thinking he was the Big Ten. And bro, he's not even the little brother in the Big Ten. He's like an asterisk. He's like that friend that always comes to your house every time there's dinner. That friend shows up like, hey, Mrs. Johnson. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, do you ever go home? That's Scott Frost.
Mm-hmm. You can look at, so this is one thing about Scott Frost that I've always thought about, not just him, but any of these guys that came from, I guess you could say, that Chip Kelly coaching block. It's no knock against them, but the type of offense that they run, it's almost, some would call it a gimmick offense because it's strictly based on speed. But when you get into these Power 5 conferences, if you look at the teams that compete for national championships and conference championships every year, one thing they have in common, offensive line and defensive line guys will win at the end of the game. And those guys in that offense, they want guys who are not necessarily bigger, but they want guys that are faster. That's not going to work against your Ohio States and even Michigan States. And if Jim Harbaugh get together, it's not going to work against them.
We got Mike Riggins, Big Mike Riggins, joining us on the Lunch Break Media Monday. If you look at it, Scott Frost is not even true to what Nebraska was. Back in the day, the black jerseys was, you wanted to be on that black, you wanted to get a black jersey. And, they were known for offensive linemen. They were known for linebackers. And, every now and then they had a dope running back or a dope quarterback. They don't have none of that now. None of that now. Because Scott Frost is trying to go in there and play this little finesse game. He's like the tennis player that won't beat you with a stroke. He's just going to lob you until you make a mistake yourself. That's not real football. It's definitely not Big Ten football. And it ain't, that's not winning right there.
Yep. And, we had a guy out here in Damakong Sioux from where the same high school as me, went to Nebraska. And I remember him talking about that in 2004, 2005, why he picked Nebraska was because of their history of developing linemen, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. At the time, I believe it was Bill Callahan was head coach. He's a big lineman guy.
Right. Well, man, I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to the Nebraska-Oklahoma game because, like I said, about 76-14, OU, yeah.
Yeah. Lincoln Riley, he might pull his foot off the brake.
No, Lincoln, no. I'm gonna be on that bat phone like, yo, Lincoln, what you doing?
Run it up.
Yeah, don't make me come down there.
But I guess to me, I was thinking that, first off, how long are they going to give Scott Frost, and then where would they potentially go next? Because I feel like he was their guy. He was the top of their list of guys. Where are they going to go next? Because that program is in such shambles right now. Who would really want that job?
Yeah, and I'm going to say it because ain't nobody else going to say it. They should never have gone to Frost. They should have went to Turner Gill, and they should have gave that man time to build a program. But it's Nebraska, so you know what they had to do. They had to go redhead freckles. They had to. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did, and now they got what they got. So, again, Nebraska's not the little brothers of the Big Ten. They that neighbor that always pops up when your mama cooking. That's who Scott Frost is.
Oh, that's yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm personally glad because there was rumors of him coming out to Oregon to take over that program when Willie Taggart left, and I'm glad they went the direction they did with Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, no, man. And again, I need Oregon and really a Pac-12 school to get over the hump, because this whole setup is just, it's going to be Alabama, it's going to be Clemson, it's going to be a school from the Big 12, and maybe a school from the Big 10. I mean, there's just no room for the Pac-12 until they just get over the hump. When do you see that happen?
They got to win the big games. I was just having this conversation specifically about Oregon not winning the big game. They had their chance against Auburn on national TV, I believe it was 2 years ago now, to prove themselves that they belonged in the conference. It's not just they're the top of the line in Pac-12, but they had the opportunity to win that game and prove that they belong in the playoffs. Not only did they lose that, they wouldn't lose to like Arizona State, and even at that point, still in the conversation to be in the hunt for a title, and they couldn't win that big game. So they got to continue to schedule that. They got to win those big games. They got Ohio State this year. This is their opportunity to prove it. And there's no other prime opportunity to beat Ohio State than a year when they lost a lot of starters.
Yeah.
And have a new quarterback that they're breaking in, and it's going to be somebody who doesn't have a lot of field experience.
Yeah.
Fields was very adorable for them.
Big Mike, Coach Big Mike Riggins joining us here on the lunch break. Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State even with all those factors in place. But I do like Oregon. I like what oh man, I drew a blank on his name now. At Arizona State, I like what he.
Yes. Herm Edwards. Herm.
Yeah, I like what Herm has put together there. That USC loss, though, man, that broke their backs last season, and it's almost like they never recovered until that game against Oregon. But I look for them to come out a little strong because they had a lot of young players. Don't know what's going to happen with Arizona now that someone's out. We'll see. And again, man, USC, UCLA, when are they going to turn the corner?
I like what I saw from seeing. I like the potential I saw from USC last year. They got to finish games, and it's hard. This is my biggest issue again with these quote unquote gimmick offenses. When you look at like an air raid offense, when it's time to end the game, they're not really used to running the ball. They got to run the ball. They got that air raid offenses. I'm gonna throw the ball 50 times. But when you're in these tight games, they got the guys. USC gets the guys. They just get 25-30% of the guys that are coming out of California. They'll be better than most teams in Pac-12. They got the guys there, but they got to learn how to finish ball games.
Yeah. Any surprise teams out there in the Pac-12? What's happening with Washington State, Oregon State? Any surprises out there? Utah's out there now. Any surprises?
Utah. I would say the team to watch, and I think they will. I think they're a year from competing for a Pac-12 championship. But the team to watch is Oregon State. And the reason why I say this is Coach Smith has done a heck of a job out here recruiting. He's brought in some talent, and the biggest thing is he's got some guys coming in offensive line and defensive line. Yeah. So I would say watch them. I would say Washington is a quarterback away. They're probably going to break in Sam Hurd, which is Sam Hewart. He's a product from Washington State. Played high school ball there. He's Brock Hewart's nephew. Who also went to UW as well too. They're probably going to break him in as a redshirt freshman. He's a number 9 rated player coming out, and they're going to break him in. So this might be a transition year for them. But if he's a lefty, he's got a big arm, and if they get that, Bill Smalls, who came in last year too, he's another kid from Kennedy Catholic out there as well. They got some guys out there, and they breed some great defensive linemen, as we're seeing with B2B, which got a championship this year. With the Buccaneers. So they got some pieces out there. They got a new coach that they're breaking in too. This will be his first full year, obviously, with having a truncated season last year. So those are two teams that I'm excited to watch. UCLA, they look like they're going to do something, but again, it's Chip Kelly, and he's kind of changed what he's done on offense.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about like an old pair of bell bottoms. It's fun for the 70s party, but like the day after, you're not still trying to wear them bad boys. And that's what Chip Kelly's starting to feel like. Like, it was fun when he was at Oregon, but everywhere he's been since then is like, bruh, what else you got? Like, that's it?
Yeah. Well, what he did was it was revolutionary. No one was doing it. No one knew how to do it. Now everybody knows how to do it. I mean, that's what we're doing on high school levels out here. Is a lot of teams run, spread, no huddle, inside zone, outside zone, zone read, and RPO out stuff. What he was doing, and nobody knew how to do it. Now everybody knows it.
Yeah, and it's like if you don't have a part B or 2.0 or 3.0 to your 1.0, then you just out and O. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, football hasn't changed in the 100+ years that it's been around. If you can't line up and the yoke 5 that's up front can't beat that other 5 in the front, you're still not gonna win.
Yeah. What about Colorado? What's the story there? I know they got a new coach because the coach left to go to Michigan State. But what about Colorado?
They're another team. They have some guys, but they're in the midst of rebuilding. And one thing I think you talked about it when coaches leave, players leave. So I forget, I'm blanking on his name, but he came from Georgia, went to Colorado, and he's at Michigan State. Mel Tucker.
Yeah, Mel Tucker, right.
You bring in that SEC mind frame of, I'm going to recruit linemen, going to build offensive line, defensive line, and, build around that. And then you get a new guy coming in who's got a totally new philosophy. Kids start transferring. So it's almost like you're starting over from scratch in many, many ways, because especially right now, you're trying to install a new offense, a new defense. You're doing something different on special teams, and then you have to, if you don't have the guys to fit your system, then that's when it becomes an issue, because you got to start finagling your system and say, okay, if I'm a power, if I'm going to run power, and I don't have that guard that can get around quick enough to do that, I got to make some changes and say, okay, maybe the center is my puller now, or maybe I'm using what we call a sniffer, or a fullback is the puller. Then that's where you got to start manipulating what you do on offense, and that makes it hard.
Big Mike, stay right there. Let me take a quick break. I want to come back and ask you something else right after this on the lunch break.
COVID-19 testing is available to you, and the results are 99% accurate. Save your time and be safe by avoiding the lines and crowds. You can test yourself and your family members at home. Test your employees at work, making sure your workplace is safe. Simply call Citation Bioscience at the number we're about to give you to order your COVID-19 testing kits. When they arrive, follow the simple instructions and send them back to us with our prepaid shipping. Results are ready the next day in 95% of the cases. And remember, they are 99% accurate and reimbursable by your insurance company. Save your time, stay safe, and avoid the crowds. Order your COVID-19 kits now by calling this number now. Pricing starts at $119 and discounts are available for larger orders. Call now. 800-247-8046. 800-247-8046. That's 800-247-8046.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we are giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
The lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, talking to one of the best coaches out there. I ain't talking about Scott Frost. That dude is trash. I'm talking about Big Mike, Coach Riggins, right here on the lunch break. Coach, question.
Yes, sir.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, everybody talking about these big-time coaches and what they did in the fall and what have you. What's your early thought on Coach Primetime over there at Jackson State? Man, he's undefeated, and they ain't winning close. They winning big. And it's almost like a mentality shift. I mean, they had a little talent before that, but now he's brought in some guys who have transferred from, quote-unquote major colleges, and they showing out over there at J State.
Balling. Man, first off, I love it. I love the move by the athletic director at Jackson State. People were talking, oh, he can't coach. He's not ready. He's not this. He's not that. At the end of the day, football is football, and I think we can all agree that Primetime is not just one of the best football players of all time, but he's one of the best athletes of all time that we've seen, period. I would, any kid come to me and say, hey, coach, I got an offer from Jackson State, this school, this school, this school. It's a few schools right now that I would say go there if you go over Jackson State. If we look at what he just said over this weekend, he told those boys, he said, listen, he said, August 1, if they say you can make money off your name and likeness, I'm going to have you taken care of. Who's a more marketable coach right now in football?
Nobody.
Who went to a school that was a Nike school and next now their football players are wearing Under Armour right now?
Yep.
Within 3 months.
Yep.
Whose facilities has he vowed to upgrade before he leaves that school?
Yep.
Everything he said that he will do, he's done, and to me, he's exceeded what he knew. I know he can coach football. I've watched him since he started coaching, since he was at Trinity as an offensive coordinator. I've been watching. I know he knows football, but it's just that energy, it's that aura, it's that positivity, it's that care for the young men. That to me, just seeing him, that's the first thing I see as a football coach. I see his care for those men before I see anything else. A lot of these guys are just mouthpieces. But when you see Prime, it's something we've all have that intuition. When you see that, and I've only seen it for video, you just see the care for those young men, and you can see not only that, they're tuned in and locked into what he's saying.
Yeah.
Not because of who he is, but because of the message that he's giving them.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love everything about it. I wanted to get your expertise because you're in that arena, bro. You are a coach, and you know the difference between what we see in sound bites and clips and what the media puts together in a package and what's really going on. So that was another one of the reasons why I said call me so I could ask you about that, because I am loving what I'm seeing out of him and out of the eyes of those young men. You can tell that they're seeing something that they can resonate with.
Yeah, and not only that, he had the instance. This has been their first game where somebody broke into the locker room and was stole some of his belongings. Instead of him blasting who it was or who this individual was, he just said, "No, we're gonna handle this in house." Like that's a totally different approach than let you break into an Alabama facility and steal some of Nick Saban's. Your face is gonna be plastered over every newspaper.
Bruh,
that.
You better know it like a poet, man. Don't even get me started on Saban. You know some of my intimate feelings about Nick Saban. So yeah, man. Again, I'm glad for Primetime. I'd love to see them, go ahead and do what they're doing and not even have a blemish and let the conversation begin. Also, let the door open for other, former NFL stars to go to HBCUs and to do similar things all around the country.
Yep, and this is my question. I want to know which Power 5 school is going to be the first one to schedule them in the next 2 to 3 years. Who's going to take the opportunity to schedule a game against them?
You know what? And that's a good point, because from my side of it, I want to see which one of my colleagues are going to start putting Deion Sanders' name in when they talk about the best 5 candidates for the Oregon job or the best 5 candidates for the Ohio State job. I want to see how many of them start writing in Deion Sanders' name, because they very rarely write in one of us when it comes to a school like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And I think it's inevitable that eventually in the future he will leave, but I think he's bought into what he's doing at Jackson State. I mean, just look at him. He's the band playing at halftime. He's just excited. He's the energy. He's just excited that he's got the band back. He's got a few fans in the stand.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love everything about it. I love the way he's going about it. Let me get one more take from you. Drew Brees finally decided to hang them up. Again, I appreciate Drew for what he did in New Orleans, both on and off the field. But I, for one, was glad to see him go. I did not want him to come back and try and prove something that didn't need to be proven. Your thoughts on Drew Brees and him going, and who you legitimately see as the heir apparent to him?
You know, first off, you can't take away what Drew Brees did for the city of New Orleans and what he meant for that city. He came in at a time where it was, so much going on with Katrina, and he gave that city life. He gave that city hope. He brought that to him and, Malcolm, all those guys. It was Malcolm Jenkins was a rookie. Sean Payton was a young coach, and they won a Super Bowl at a time and beat at that time many people's, go at that time. But I was glad to see him go. It was painful to watch him last year. It was painful, and I was just praying that they would have just put Jameis in there, and let him run with it, because it was just hard. It's kind of like watching somebody who's played it. It was watching somebody who played a year or two too long, and I just want to remember you for the good days. And now unfortunately, our last memories of Drew Brees is that last drive that he miserably failed on.
Yeah.
Now they're going to give Taysom Hill a shot. I don't know why, but to me, he's not an NFL quarterback. He is a right-handed Tim Tebow.
Wow.
They should be used in the same as how they've been using them, is how they should continue to use them. And I would give Jameis Winston a shot to prove that he learned something this year under Drew Brees, and that there's no question Jameis Winston's physical attributes. His thing, it was a mind thing for him. I would love to see them give him a shot.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. I look at this report where they have signed Taysom to a 4-year, $140 million extension that frees up $7.5, almost $8 million in cap space. But it's so uniquely done that
cut him at any time.
They can cut him at any time, and the chances of him seeing an extra dime than what he was normally going to get are slim and none. That's not necessarily the vote of confidence that you want if you're Taysom Hill to being, guaranteed the starting quarterback job.
Well, he had his shot last year to secure the position for this year, and he didn't do it. That's my opinion. To me, it should be an open competition. It should be a fair, open competition. And if that's what they're going to do, I'm taking Jameis all the way, specifically because all the physical attributes are there. He had a year to just out of the spotlight to learn something. He didn't learn something from Drew Brees, who is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. You know what? And what's crazy is that Todd Bowles' defensive approach that they used against them in the playoffs, you can literally use that with Taysom Hill. He's not going to throw the ball accurately 15 yards, 20 yards or more downfield. So if you play everything short, it doesn't mean he's not going to try to throw it over your head. He's just not going to be able to do it accurately or consistently. So therefore, the Saints become a 3 yards in a cloud of dust or a 5 yard out or slant kind of team, and you can defend that all day long.
And that's definitely not what Sean Payton wants to do. He's a vertical guy. He wants to push the ball down the field. He's got Michael Thomas. They let Emmanuel Sanders go this past weekend, which I was kind of surprised to see. So it shows me they're in the market for some help at wide receiver and at tight end. And then you got Alvin Kamara still there. So, ultimate weapon out the backfield.
Yeah, they got real serious cap issues. The Saints had the highest salary cap issue in the NFL, and they are on a cutting spree. Somebody's going to do well picking up Emmanuel Sanders and their
Juwan Alexander.
Right. Their tight end that they had there. And I mean, it's going to be a lot of value coming out of the Saints organization. The Texans cannot seem to trade with anybody on a consistent basis other than New England. They did it again. They picked up an offensive lineman from New England, Marcus Cannon. This is why Deshaun Watson does not want to stay in this city. It's because the organization has one way of doing things and they refuse to change. As an outsider looking in, what does this look like to you?
It looks like Deshaun is going to have to sit out. He's going to have to sit out some games to prove his point that he doesn't want to be there. I think he's got to be willing to lose a little bit of money to get out of there, because it seems like they're bent on keeping him, and they're going to force him to play. And he's done, from the outside looking, he's done a lot for that city. It looks like I remember his rookie year. It was his rookie year. He took his first paycheck and gave it to some workers for the team, right?
Yep, that got hurt by the storm that had come through. And like you said, again, that was his rookie money. Now that wasn't big money. That was rookie money, and that was what was on his heart.
Yeah. So for somebody like that, and who and to me, even if he leaves, he'll still continue to do some stuff in that community. It seems like, because they embraced him and he embraced the community in Houston. But now it looks like the organization we're gonna make you play for us. And I wouldn't want to play for them. I don't think Will Fuller's coming back the way things are looking. They just got this right tackle from New England. So are we saying that what's his name is Titus Howard? Is that his name? Starting right tackle for last year? What they do with him?
Yeah. And what's interesting, they say that they brought him in as a backup. First of all, New England is not the only place that you can go to get depth. And the Texans, since before Nick Caserio, everything and everybody had to come from New England. I mean, it just makes no sense. And Deshaun, right before all this happened, said, we need a change of culture here. And what do? They bring in a New England GM. They bring in New England prayer partner, who's the vice president of everything. And now they're starting to streamline more New England players through the front door. It's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating.
Yep. And until that culture change happens, you're going to continue to see the lackluster on the field product.
Yeah. Well, man, I wanted to get your input on all the above. Do me a favor, tell everybody about the great news that has happened for you and what you're going to be doing here in the very near future, if you're not already doing it.
Oh man, well, I'm excited because I'm relocating to Texas. I'll be in the Dallas area. Got some other things in the works, some other hopefully good news next time we talk. I'll have some more news about that. But I'll be down there early June, get situated, and I'm coming to Houston to pull up on you and see what's going on, man.
Bruh, you got to do it. And if you don't do it, it's going to go bad, bro. Don't make me call the brothers from Portland, man. You know
Not at all.
You don't want that.
Not at all. And I got one more thing I got to say, too.
Okay.
Just a quick shout out to the Norman High School girls basketball team. They were put in the spotlight, and this weekend they won state championship. So shout out to them, undefeated season. That was super good to see, considering everything they went through in the last week, throwing into the national media spotlight as a high school player. This is good. I don't want to be thrown into the middle of a controversy. See them overcome that adversity, continue on what they're doing, win a state championship was super good to see. So shout out to those young girls and the coaching staff who did that this past week.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, that was I don't know why I continue to be shocked by this stuff, but because the girls decided to kneel, their choice, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of protest, because they chose to kneel, one of the announcers, literally got caught on a hot mic talking about, they're kneeling, I hope they lose, and then called them the F word and the N word. Mm-hmm. And when he got caught, instead of owning it and dealing with the consequences, this dude tried to blame it on his diabetes, his blood sugar spiked. And when that happens, he gets kind of crazy, he gets kind of loopy, and he says things that he shouldn't say. So now everybody out there, take your medicine, because if you have a blood sugar spike, you might say racist things that you would not normally say.
Yeah, you just need to keep the Twix in his pocket or Snickers or something if that's the case.
Nah, man, I would have went ahead and slapped him on the back of that neck and say, "Yo, dog." And I'm sorry, but the other dude should have been fired as well, because again, man, you can't keep doing this stuff and then not taking responsibility, or let somebody do it in your presence and you don't say out loud, "No, man, that ain't right. No, I'm not with you on that."
I'm either you leaving the broadcast booth right now, or I'm leaving. But both of us not gonna be here.
Yeah, no, man, I ain't like it, and again, we're gonna see what happens with this dude. I know the school has already ended their contract with that agency that provides announcers, and like you said, for the girls to go on and win the championship, and you even had teachers and parents and everybody else kneeling with them through the rest of their tournament. I was happy for him, man. I was extremely happy for him.
it was great to see. Made my weekend a lot better to see them. Like I said, that's a lot to overcome as an athlete, dealing with that. People putting microphones in your face as much as possible, messages on all the social media platforms. So to block all that out, to lock in and win a state championship, it's hard. It's a hard task to do already.
Right.
When you overcome something like that in the middle of the playoffs to do it, it just makes it even better.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, brother. You be safe out there, man. Can't wait for you to get stateside so we can hang out.
The countdown has begun. I will see you soon, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Big Mike Riggins, y'all. Take care, brother.
You too.
All right, y'all. I'm telling you, one of the best dudes out there. One of the best dudes out there. And I am excited about him and what he's doing. And can't wait for him to get stateside. So if you want to get in, you can. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. AJ Jones. Let's see. I was trying to get some Sybil Wilkes on here, but doesn't look like I have the attachments. So let me take a quick break. And then we'll come back with more. If you want to get in with your comments, I really want to hear them. 281-453-1000 or text me 832-403-5005. Rockets have lost 16 in a row now after the loss to the Celtics, and that was a bad one, 134-107. And again, they got so many players hurt right now. It's a who's who in who's going to be in the lineup. The Spurs also took a beating to Philly, 134-99. They were without DeMar DeRozan for personal reasons. We'll try and dig a little deeper and find out what's going there. We'll do all that next right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Legendary. 1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. When you step on the field, man, that's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, this game is actually not over. That's first hour on the books. That one's over, but the second hour is underway here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Glad to have Coach Big Mike Riggins right here on the show with me today. Been really wanting to pick his brain on some of the stuff that we talked about, and just love the dude, man. Can't wait till he gets stateside here in Texas. We about to do some things. Hey, listen, I'm just telling you now. Look out, Dallas, because you got a coach coming up there that's getting ready to turn it over. And hey, I can't wait to get him down in the H so we can do some things here in the studio and just around town. So again, Big Mike Riggins, always glad to have him. Let me shout out to Queen Leah Brown, man, amazing young lady. I'm telling you, if you are looking for a great, just in tune life coach, that she is one of the best. She is one of the best, man. She can help you get recalibrated and get you focused, get you heading in the right direction. I got to have her on the show here real soon, especially during Women's History Month. And then Juanita Brown, that's one of my daughters, and I don't mean my flesh and blood daughters, but I'm like a godfather to her, and she is an amazing young lady as well. I'm so proud of her. Talk about chasing after your dreams. This young lady, man, has really gone after some of the things that she's always wanted to do in life, and she has not allowed challenges and obstacles and things that have happened to her hold her back. So she's another one that I'd love to get on the show. She's got some bars too. She can drop some lines and some rhymes that will make you say, hey, do that one more time. I'm telling you, like what I did right there? I got to have Juanita on and let her tell you about what she can do. So a couple of another fabulous queens that we got to have here on the show real soon. So I tell you what, let me drop some hearts on them real quick here on the lunch break. Keisha Kelly, Miss Queen Black College Experience. Man, she was busy this past weekend with the SWAC tournament, and TSU pulled it out. They beat Prairie View to get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, March Madness. What got me was, and I'll go ahead and say it real loud from my chest, Prairie View should have been in the tournament too. Prairie View should have at least been in one of the play-in games, or they should at least been in that group of four that if something happens to one of the other tournament teams, they will fill in. Prairie View only lost 5 times this season, and they played a pretty tough schedule, non-conference schedule. So for Prairie View not to be in the tournament, not to even get a consideration, I love the March Madness committee. I do. I said basketball, March Madness in college is the best postseason tournament, bar none. I love it. I love the fact that, a little bitty school can play against a real big school, and if they beat them, guess what? There's no, oh yeah, but we got to keep, Duke in there. We got to keep North Carolina in there. Guess what? The little school goes on. But they got to do better about giving some of the smaller schools that have special seasons some of those at-large bids. You got a 15-12 Michigan State team going to the tournament, and you got a 5-loss Prairie View team not going. It's ridiculous. If Michigan State can be a play-in team, Prairie View can be a play-in team. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, good afternoon. Dre, how you feel? I'm just tuning in, man. I don't know if you got an open line or what, and I don't want to disrupt the flow.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me just break this down to you real quick, big fella.
Yes, sir.
You are the greatest of all time.
Of all time.
And bruh, anytime I got an open line, it's yours. So, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, I'm here to tell you a story I know nothing of. One night, broad daylight, 2 dead men started a fight, so they pulled their swords and they shot each other. A deaf policeman heard the noise and came arrested the 2 dead boys. Here's the greatest of all time.
Oh, right on. That's good to know. Anytime I call the line, I'm fine. Hey, man, but check it out, man. Let me give my deepest respects to the family of one of the greatest of all time. To me, this guy was the Rodney Dangerfield of boxing. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I mean, to me, Hagler was like a pit bull in the ring. I mean, the man was just like unreal. I mean, do say Marvin got his just due?
No, I don't think he got his just due. Marvelous Marvin Hagler,
Yes,
did not play with anybody, and
No,
he
sir.
was not to be played with.
No, sir.
And when he literally, and I'm talking about, he was knocking dudes out the ring, not out in the ring, but he was knocking dudes out the ring. I mean, you know, when you get into this pound for pound thing, he was pound for pound one of the toughest boxers in the sport, and did not get his just due, all because of how hard he was, and he wasn't media friendly, and he wasn't,
Right.
you know,
It was no nonsense.
he wasn't going, you know, he wasn't going to advertise your sweet smelling body lotion and all that kind of stuff. He was
Right.
in the ring to fight, beat people up, and win championships, and he did that until Sugar Ray Leonard studied him and figured some things out and said, I can't knock him out, but I can outpoint him. I can't, you know, I can't outdistance him, but I can stay away from him enough, do my damage, and get out of the way. And because he played that kind of strategy against Hagler, Hagler got, you know, frustrated. And Hagler stepped away, and people used that to further indict him because of his personality, because of the way he carried himself and what have you. And I'm telling you, any great champion that loses to what he thinks is a lesser opponent could walk away with that kind of feeling. And I feel like he's been punished because of that. It's unfortunate.
I want to get your quick opinion on two of his fights. Okay, the Hearns fight. And I was at that. Well, I wasn't there. I was at the Compact, wherever they were showing it. But anyway, I watched that fight, and Hearns could have won that fight if he'd have stayed on his bicycle, jabbed and moved, because he had the distance. But he had the reach on Hagler, but he fell into the trap. You want to prove he could out-punch him, and that was the biggest mistake he ever made in his life.
Yeah.
And then every time I look at that Sugar Ray Leonard fight, I'm not saying Sugar Ray didn't win, but every time I look at that fight, it's closer and closer. What say you, Drake?
I honestly, if I just look at the rules about what counts as a point and look at the fight side by side, then I can see where the judges got it right. I didn't like the style. I was talking to Big Mike earlier, and I was talking about Nebraska and how they're trying to be a finesse team. And I said it's like the tennis player that's not going to beat you with power. He's not going to hit you with passing shots or ace you in the serve. He's just going to lob the ball and try and make you make mistakes and win that way. That's what Sugar Ray did. Legally, it was right. You know, but as a sportsman, as a competitor, I got to be honest with you. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Like, if you're going to stand toe-to-toe and knock him out, or if you're going to, you know, dance a little bit and then you're going to get your shots and then get out of it, that's one thing. But you just touching him with your glove in the right places and getting points for that. That's what he did.
Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. Sugar Ray was the good one and Hagler was the bad one. But if I had time, do you have to take a commercial, or I just want to bring out one thing, and I'm gonna hang up and let you
stay right there. Let me do a quick commercial. I'll come back. I want to hear from the greatest right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM. It's Media Monday.
Attention business owners, listen carefully to this important message. Are you tired of struggling with monthly bookkeeping or always being behind? Maybe you're fed up with paying your CPA ridiculously high hourly rates for subpar services. At Finance Pal, we know your pain. We're small business owners who understand your tax and accounting needs. At Finance Pal, we take over your books and design a program custom tailored to fit your needs. Whether it's bookkeeping, payroll, bill pay, inventory tracking, or taxes, we have you covered. We handle some or all of these services for one flat, affordable, low monthly fee. Stop worrying about your books and drowning in paperwork. Let us worry while you focus on growing your business. This setup is easy. And we give you the tools and technology to make your monthly finances streamlined and organized. Call now for a free business assessment.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
The lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. It is Media Monday. It's also time to get your brackets in for the lunch break. March Madness, keeping up with the Joneses Challenge. I will be sending out the link. Got to have your brackets back to me before Friday. The brackets close on Friday, so get them in. You can pick 2 brackets, and you got a chance to win big money in the lunch break March Madness bracket challenge. So get ready. Greatest, sorry to keep you holding. Let me come back to you. Greatest of all time.
Oh, man, no, you ain't got to be sorry, man. You got to make that money come first.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, but check it out, Dre, and I'm going to say this real quick, and I want to get your opinion. Okay, the high school announcer at the girls' basketball game.
Yes, sir.
For him to blame that racist rant on his blood sugar going up, that's the new one. He said, well, my blood sugar went up, and I didn't realize what I was saying. At first he said it wasn't him saying it, so he was blaming it on the other guy. But my thing is, straight for him to just, I can understand you being upset if somebody's taking a knee. I can understand if that's the way you feel. But for you to come out with the racist language and the anger and the bitterness now, I don't see the same bitterness when I see George Floyd, Derek Chauvin on his neck for 846. You're not angry about that. You're not angry about Walter Scott getting shot in the back 7 times. You're not angry about Breonna Taylor getting murdered in her sleep, and Tatiana Jefferson. That's the last one. They do a welfare.
Don't forget Elijah McClain just walking home.
McClain
minding his own business.
Mind this business. I'm special. You look suspicious. And then throw him on the ground and then shoot him up with some junk that you ain't got no business. And then he dead 6 days later. Then, of course, the Ahmaud Arbery just going on a jog. You're not upset about that, but you upset about some young girls taking a knee, and for you to go on a racist tirade that you went on, then you want to blame it on your sugar. I'm going to end on this, Dre. These same people, I say all the time that our black young men, the superstar athletes, need to really start going to the other colleges, to the swag schools. I know this is high school, but my point is, most of these black athletes, they go to these high-ranking schools that's going to be representing in the Final Four in March Madness. The people in the stands, majority of them don't look like them. And I really believe in my heart that the only reason they allow them to play on the basketball team, only reason they allow them to step on the campus is because they can help them make millions of dollars. But them same young men with them funny haircuts and them tattoos all over their body, if you seen them same young men walking in your neighborhood, you call the police on them. Can you kind of break that down and I'll listen?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you as always, greatest. And yeah, I got some serious thoughts on it, bro. So I used to be the same way too. I used to be like, man, I just want our people to go to, HBCUs where they're going to be appreciated, they're going to be, really cared for, and they're not going to have to worry about, somebody smiling in their face because they're an athlete, and then, saying the kind of stuff that this dude said because they choose to exercise the same First Amendment rights that these people go running down to the Capitol with their AR-15s and shouting in the face of law enforcement because they can't go get their First Amendment haircut and because they can't go have coffee and drinks and meals and stuff like that. Or they lose an election that was fair and square.
Right.
Rodney DeWalt said Trayvon Martin. Absolutely agreed. Here's the thing, though. I've kind of changed a little bit. I want our brothers and sisters to keep going to some PWIs. I want them to continue to be the quarterback at Alabama. I want them to continue to be the quarterback at Clemson. I want them to continue to be, the best player in Auburn. I want them to continue to be, the best basketball player at Duke and the best basketball player at North Carolina and Michigan State. Why? Because now you got to realize that you've got to, watch this, celebrate somebody that you don't really like. Not because you want to, but because you have to. And I want them kneeling when they choose to kneel. I want them going after, like the young man here in Houston went after the Florida State coach and called him out and said, "You're a liar. That's not what you said. That's not what you did. And if you don't get it right, we're not playing." I want them to put pressure on these folks to do the right thing. Because greatest, one of the most dangerous drugs out there is something called self-righteousness. When you're a racist and you don't believe you are, when you're a bigot and you don't believe you are, or when you are just an absolute white supremacist and just because you wear a cross and carry a Bible, you think that your way is right. I want you to have to look in the face of the very thing that you despise and realize no matter how much you try, you'll never be as good as them.
Well, Dre, next time tell me how you really feel.
Bro, I've given it a lot of thought, greatest. I've given it a lot of thought. And you know what? I'm a praying man, and I'm prayed about it. And I've heard loud and clear, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Let them go and be who I created them to be and realize and have those other folks realize that they can't stop them.
Dre, he didn't give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the spirit of power. But as always, it's always a great day when you can hear from Andre. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Love you, man. Love you. That being said, let me just drop this on y'all. I've got one of the greatest of all time coming on the show tomorrow. I'm going to have the legendary Ralph Cooper on the show tomorrow, and I am extremely excited about it because you talk about the godfather of sports, period. Not black sports, not black radio sports, period. I'm going to have him on the show tomorrow, and I am extremely excited about it. So whatever you do, tune in tomorrow because you will hear a Hall of Famer in the form of broadcast journalism on the show tomorrow. And I'm excited. I am ecstatic. So let me take a break. We'll come back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
You're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Media Monday, and man, we've already heard from some of the best. Coach Big Mike Riggins going to be coming from the Pacific Northwest down to the Lone Star State. Can't wait to have him in town. And coaches, y'all better step your game up because he's coming, and he ain't coming to play with you. And then, of course, we heard from the greatest, caller of the year 2018 right here on the show. And then I got my brother like no other, Rodney DeWalt, tuning in. As I said before the break, Ralph Cooper going to be on the show tomorrow. Got some other awesome people that are going to be a part of the show this week. I told you it's going to be a power-packed show. Got some great guests lined up, and you don't want to miss this one. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. I got a couple of messages that came in. AJ, so you mean to tell me if my blood sugar spikes, I'm going to start spouting off racism? Okay. Got it. Yeah, it was really one of the weaker excuses for racist behavior that I had seen and heard of in a long time. Let me read this press release. I, Matt Rowan, on Thursday, March 11, 2021, most regrettably made some statements that cannot be taken back. During the Norman High School girls basketball game against Midwest City, I made inappropriate racist comments believing that the microphone was off. Problem. You made the comments believing that nobody was listening. So in other words, you're not upset that you made the comments. You're sorry that you got caught and the comments were heard by live mic. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. However, let me state immediately that that is no excuse for such comments should never have been uttered. You ready? Here we go. I'm a family man. I am married, have 2 children, and at one time was a youth pastor. I continue to be a member of a Baptist church. I have not only embarrassed and disappointed myself, I have embarrassed and disappointed my family and my friends. So people with families can be racist. People with wives and husbands can be racist. People with children can be racist, and they can also teach their children to be racist. And I am embarrassed that you were a youth pastor. That is one of the best jobs. It wasn't even a job. It was a calling, an assignment. It was a passion. It was one of the best that I ever had. And I can assure you, I'm no better than anybody else, but I never once led a group of youth with a racist intent in my life. And I'm concerned that you, Matt Rowan, and I know you're not listening, I'm concerned that someone like Matt Rowan would throw out that he was a youth pastor, given the situation that he's in. So now we're supposed to say, oh, well, he was a youth pastor, so clearly he didn't mean that. And then the whole, and I continue to be a member of the Baptist church. I don't know if y'all have been looking at the statistics out there, and I know everything that you don't like is fake news. And, you know, the media is the enemy of the state and the enemy of the people. But here's the deal. There are good, solid numbers out there that say that there are more people who profess to be Christians that are believing stuff like QAnon, that believe that the election was rigged, that were in support of people. Notice I didn't say a person, but people that had some of the most racist and bigoted beliefs, policies, statements, behavior seen in a long, long time. And these folks are good, loving Christians. And that's why I told Greatest, one of the worst diseases out there is something called self-righteousness. It's where you yourself deem you as righteous. When you deem yourself as righteous, guess what? Nobody, virtually nobody, can convince you that you're not, even if you're dead wrong. And I don't care how fat your Bible is. I don't care how thick your cross is on your neck. I don't care how many times you attend a building called a church. It does not make you better. Don't get me started on quoting the tenets of your faith. Something about not putting new wine into old skin. In other words, if you're not going to change your behavior, getting a revelation, getting a word, having church ain't going to change you. Something about if anyone be in Christ, they're a new creature. Old things have passed away. All things have become brand new. Can't stay a racist and be saved at the same time. FYI. I just said, don't get me started. So here we go. Matt Rowan continues to go on and say, I will state that I suffer. Hold on, let me flip it. It flipped back. Here we go. I will state that I suffer from type 1 diabetes. And during the game, my sugar was spiking. While not excusing my remarks, it is not unusual when my sugar spikes that I become disoriented and often say things that are not appropriate as well as hurtful. I do not believe that I would have made such horrible statements absent my sugar spiking. Like, bro, they should hire you and fire you all over again. Like, your doctor should, like, go to the podium and say, I would just like to state on behalf of everyone that suffers from type 1 diabetes, there is nothing in that disease or that sickness or that condition that will ever cause you to say racist things that you would never normally say. Thank you. I will not be taking questions. Like, what you said was bad enough. But to then try and sweep it under some illogical rug of it was because of my type 1 diabetes, I don't get it. Like, okay, so if the guy was disoriented, why would he know exactly, oh, wait a minute, they're kneeling? You got to be kidding me. They're kneeling? Oh, I hope they lose now. That doesn't sound like you were disoriented. It sounded like you were extremely locked in. You had laser focus. And then you stayed in perfect context with the conversation at hand when he went on to say those, blank N-words, so ungrateful. If a person is disoriented, they're talking about 58 different things at one time, none of them related to the same thing. I got no sympathy or empathy for the brother. And in my opinion, it's just my opinion, and you can judge me and condemn me if you want to. I'll take it. The apology made it worse. And I know it's his apology. It's not our apology. But the apology made it worse. You regretted that you got caught in an open mic. You tried to hide behind being a husband and a father, a youth pastor, and a member of a church. And then you went for the home run with, oh yeah, by the way, my blood sugar was spiking, and I say illogical things when my blood sugar spikes. Let me throw in the part that most folks tend to overlook. At kids. There, I fixed it for you. You didn't just say it at protesters out in the street, grown people. You didn't say it at, people who were in your age group. You said it at kids. You called a group of kids blank N-words. You said, I hope these kids lose because they chose to exercise their First Amendment right. You directed your vile, racist, bigoted anger at kids. And I know I'm talking about him as if he's listening, and y'all forgive me. I get so caught up in this kind of stuff. But as a father, as a grandfather, there are sides of me that you don't want to ever see. And they come out when grown people exercise the most vile, inexcusable, unnecessary, racist, bigoted behavior, language at kids. And this is where I challenge the pro-life people. Don't get me wrong, I'm against abortion, but this is where I challenge the pro-lifers that wear their flag. Oh, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-life. Oh God, I'll vote for anybody that's pro-life, even if they're a racist. If you're not mad about this, then you're not pro-life. If you're not angry about Ahmaud Arbery or Trayvon Martin or Elijah McClain or Breonna Taylor, you're not pro-life. You're pro-embryo. You're anti-abortion. You're not pro-life. Pro-life says you're not going to attack kids with racism. You're not going to shoot unarmed young people down in the street. You're not going to kneel on somebody's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds when they're not resisting. And even if they were, that ain't how you restrain them. You're not pro-life. You're anti-abortion. You're pro-embryo, but you're not pro-life. I don't care how much your church does in the protection of unborn babies, you're not pro-life. And I call you out too. This man should never work around young people again. I already know it's up in Oklahoma, so he'll be working day after next. He'll be a contributor on some national news program here pretty soon because cancel culture got him. Not the negative, vile, racist stuff that came out of his mouth, but cancel culture got him. Like, you should be able to say racist stuff at kids all you want. You're protected by the First Amendment. Never mind that their First Amendment was being attacked because they chose to peacefully kneel down. The people that attacked the Capitol are being applauded by some Congress people for being good, law-abiding citizens that were just exercising their First Amendment right. But let an athlete kneel down during the sacred, holiest song ever made, known to man, not Amazing Grace, not I Need Thee, not, Total Praise, but the national anthem. And some kind of way, you're allowed to be racist, You're allowed to be bigoted. You're allowed to be whatever you want to be, just attacking those people's exercising their First Amendment right. But your First Amendment right can allow you to attack the entire capital of the United States of America, and that's supposedly perfectly okay, according to some Congress people. I am so glad that these girls overcame this bigot and won the and won their state championship. I am so glad that national news sources will be highlighting them and not him. I wish that he would go and get the help that he needs for his type 1 diabetes, because he's got the worst case of it that I've ever heard of. If I were him, I would check into a research center lab right now and let them just take all the blood they need to find out that racist gene and try to get a vaccine warp speeded for that. We need a warp speed vax for bigotry and racism. Little do you know, it's mutated into type 1 diabetes. And I'm being very facetious. Keith Hennig said, I suffer with my cholesterol. It makes me despise racism. Lester Jordan, I'm a youth pastor. I'm a good Baptist. Tell you, man, it's amazing. Rodney DeWalt, Barbara Jordan said it best. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm so grateful. I can't even explain how grateful I am for the folks that sacrificed their lives during the civil rights movement. The ones that sacrificed and took the beatings and took the water hoses and took the dogs being sicked out on them, and even the ones that lost their lives, Medgar Evers and many others. Of course, Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And then the ones that, you know, just recently passed and who have continued to fight for equality and civil rights for everybody. When I look at how casual and how callous people can be with their racism and their bigotry, and how, like, again, in Congress now, you don't even have to hide it. What Ron Johnson said the other day, he's like not even trying to hide his racism and bigotry. He's more afraid of Antifa and Black Lives Matter than he was against people that killed people as they were attacking the national capital of the United States of America. That says stuff that you can never even understand fully. A black person can't even go on national TV and say that they were suicidal because of the treatment they received without folks calling them a liar. Wait a minute. That person should know if they were suicidal, not you. Let me take a break. I'll be right back with more right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Now, in-home or in-office do-it-yourself COVID-19 testing is available to you, and the results are 99% accurate. Save your time and be safe by avoiding the lines and crowds. You can test yourself and your family members at home. Test your employees at work, making sure your workplace is safe. Simply call Citation Bioscience at the number we're about to give you to order your COVID-19 testing kits. When they arrive, follow the simple instructions and send them back to us with our prepaid shipping. Results are ready the next day in 95% of the cases. And remember, they are 99% accurate and reimbursable by your insurance company. Save your time, stay safe, and avoid the crowds. Order your COVID-19 kits now by calling this number now. Pricing starts at $119 and discounts are available for larger orders. Call now. 800-247-8046. 800-247-8046. That's 800-247-8046.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Let me drop this one piece real quick. The federal authorities have arrested 2 men with assaulting U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian D. Sicknick with bear spray during the January 6th Capitol riot, but have not determined whether the exposure caused his death. Julian Ellie Cantor, 32 of Pennsylvania, and George Pierre Tenius, 39 of Morgantown, West Virginia, were arrested yesterday and are expected to appear in federal court today for attacking a Capitol police officer that subsequently died from that, according to some now, peaceful, law-abiding, First Amendment exercising attack on the nation's capital on January the 6th. And oh yeah, by the way, I wasn't afraid of them, but I would have been afraid if they had been Black Lives Matter, or Antifa. Here's the thing. They weren't Black Lives Matter or Antifa, and they more than likely killed somebody. We definitely know that they attacked a Capitol police officer that was doing his job to protect the nation's capital. So the very folks that you weren't afraid of are now arrested for having broken the law, not being peaceful, not exercising their First Amendment rights, but committing a felony, multiple felonies, more than likely. This is America. This is America. All right, let me get to the rest of these sports. Spurs got beat up, I told you, by Philadelphia 134-99. They were without DeMar DeRozan, who sat out due to personal reasons. They're at Detroit tonight at 7. Not sure if DeRozan is going to be in the starting lineup. But, man, again, they got beat up by Philadelphia, who was without Joel Embiid. Embiid suffered an ugly injury over the weekend. And, I didn't know if Philadelphia was going to be able to be Philadelphia without Embiid. He was having an MVP-like season. So there you go. All right, Baylor, #1 seed, along with Gonzaga, Michigan, and Illinois. The state of Texas will be represented by Texas Southern, UT, Texas Tech, U of H, North Texas, and Abilene Christian in the March Madness tournament coming up. And again, we will be having a lunch break, keeping up with the Joneses March Madness Challenge. In fact, I call it the lunch break, keeping up with the Joneses M&M Challenge. Because, you ain't allowed to use some of their names without getting in trouble. And they don't go after the big people. They go after folk like me. So I'll be sending out the link for you to fill out your bracket. You can do 2 brackets this year, just 2. Each person can do 2 brackets. Got to have them in by Friday, and you'll have a chance to win big money. You'll be able to follow along, see where you rank. I'll be doing the updates every week. We'll be talking about our sponsors and everything like that, but that'll be coming out later on today. Drew Brees is officially calling it a career after 20 years. Grateful to Drew for all the memories, especially the Super Bowl championship that he brought to New Orleans. Wishing him well. He's going to go and work for NBC on the Game of the Week broadcast. Good for him. Again, I would put Drew Brees and Tony Romo in the booth together and let them just pontificate. It would be television coverage like no other. Put somebody in there to run the board and let those two just go at, like, you don't need Jim Nance in the booth. You don't need Steve Levy in the booth when you got Tony Romo and Drew Brees. Like, let them go at it. Let them go at it. I like Brian Greasy and Louis Riddick. Let those two just go at. You don't need that third dude in the booth. So, anyway, congratulations to Drewby. The Saints signed Taysom Hill to a 4-year, $140 million deal with all kinds of stuff in it that makes it completely like they can cancel it at any time, not owe him a dime when they cancel it, save themselves about $7.5 million in cap space, but the Saints still have a long way to go to get under the salary cap. They have literally had to let a lot of players go because of their salary cap issues. And, they tried to stay in that win now mode, and when you do that, sometimes you have to pay now or pay later. Unfortunately, Drew Brees' body did not hold up while they were in that win now mode. The Texans, of course, again, made some moves, and one of them included getting an offensive lineman, Marcus Cannon, from, you guessed it, the New England Patriots. The league should almost step in and say that you can only make so many trades with one organization. It's just ridiculous. The Texans also traded Benardrick McKinney, who quietly requested a trade. These guys want to get out of there. Benardrick McKinney quietly requested a trade and was traded away to the Miami Dolphins for outside linebacker Shaq Lawson. McKinney is an inside linebacker and will do well down there with Brian Flores. He's a defensive type head coach. And Shaq Lawson will probably give the Texans some edge rush help and try and fill in where J.J. Watt has vacated. Him and Amenahue and some of the other guys, we'll see if they can add some pressure on the quarterback now that J.J. Watt has gone on to Arizona. But again, the head scratcher is the Texans and Marcus Cannon. Again, we did talk about Marvin Marvelous Hagler passing away over the weekend. Definitely sending out condolences to his family. It's tough, man. Absolutely tough. Okay, so let's see. I want to look at these brackets real quick before we go. Might not have time to do it. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to post up the link for the bracket. There's absolutely no cost to play. It does not cost you anything to be in the lunch break M&M basketball pick'em challenge. It doesn't cost you a thing, and you have a chance to win big, courtesy of our sponsors. So I'm going to post up that link immediately after the show. So ladies, if you want to get in, please do. Men, if you want to get in, please do. If you are not a follower of the lunch break, but you want to get in, again, there is no cost for admission. Just get on in and let's do it. All right? Let's try to see. Patriots just signed a big deal with a tight end, Jonnu Smith. Yeah, that's Rick Pitino has gotten his team back to the March Madness tournament. Now, Rick Pitino got run out of Louisville for all kinds of stuff. None of it good. Still involved in this pending FBI investigation into shoe deals and all kinds of stuff in the NCAA. But some kind of way he got Iona back into the March Madness tournament. And I'm just going to be frank with you. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. The NCAA can be real quick to suspend players, to make them ineligible, to put programs on probation, not allow the kids that are not the ones cheating, not the one, paying players to come to school and what have you. But the whole program has to suffer while the coach can go on to another program and carry on like nothing happened. And while I'm happy for the kids of Iona, while I'm happy for the school, I'm not happy for Rick Pitino. Because even if Rick Pitino wasn't involved in the shoe thing, Rick Pitino was definitely involved in other stuff at Louisville that should have him banned from basketball. So there you go. All right, I got to get ready to go. Put this one on the books. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. We'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does this thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. Erica Campbell and Griff in the morning, get up mornings. And then TD Blackshirt going to be back. Table Talk on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. to 11. And then after that, Dr. Sylvia Cole and Call to Inspire. Again, TD Blackshirt coming back with Table Talk right here on the legendary KYOK. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. Nothing you can do about it except wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize everything around you, be sensitive to everybody around you, and give people their 6 feet. And oh yeah, by the way, when you see that racism, Mark Rowan, kill it. Not the person, but the racism. All right? Love y'all. Talk to you tomorrow.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. The city of Minneapolis has reached a $27 million settlement with George Floyd's family just weeks before the criminal trial is scheduled.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all have enjoyed the show today. I did. Sorry to have to go off on so much stuff, but man, there's stuff that just remains undealt with. And if somebody don't say something about it, then nobody will. So I'll be that guy. I know my numbers have suffered because of my thoughts and my beliefs and my statements, but I don't care. I'm not in this for the numbers, all right? As always, not this, definitely this. I love y'all. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Lord say the same. Don't forget Ralph Cooper tomorrow, the legendary Ralph Cooper tomorrow. Y'all take care.